Hi everyone, I'm going to read the Daily Gospel Reading and Art Reflection from Christian.art. I'm going to put the link down below. And after reading this, I'm going to talk more about Christian.art and a little bit of update on my life today. Today is the 13th of May, 2025. It is a Tuesday. Peace be with you. This is from John, chapter 10, verse 22 to 30. Jesus was walking in the temple, in the colonnade of Solomon. At that time, the Feast of Dedication took place at Jerusalem. It was winter, and Jesus was walking in the temple, in the colonnade of Solomon. So the Jews gathered around him and said to him, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Christ, tell us plainly." Jesus answered them, "I told you, and you do not believe. The works that I do in my Father's name bear witness about me, but you do not believe because you are not among my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give them eternal life, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand. My Father, who has given them to me, is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. I and the Father are one." Reflection on the stained glass window. St. Ignatius of Loyola, founder of the Jesuit order, commissioned Father Jerome Nadal to produce an illustrated Bible to help people engage more deeply with Scripture. Deeply aware of the power of visual learning in a largely illiterate society, Ignatius commissioned his close companion, Father Jerome Nadal, to create a series of illustrated biblical scenes to aid meditation and prayer. This project resulted in the, I don't know how to pronounce it, Evangelices Historiae Imagines, Images of Gospel History. First published posthumously in 1593. Rather than a conventional illustrated Bible, it was a collection of 153 detailed engravings depicting key moments from the Gospels. Each carefully annotated to guide contemplation in line with Ignatian spirituality. Nadal's work reflected the Jesuit mission to use every means, education, art, and preaching, to draw souls closer to Christ. These images were not merely decorative, but served as tools for composition of place, a core element in Ignatian meditation, helping the faithful to imaginatively enter into gospel scenes. The Evangelices Historiae Imagines became a cornerstone of Jesuit pedagogy and pastoral outreach, blending Renaissance artistry with the dynamic spirituality of a rapidly growing religious order dedicated to finding God in all things. Our illustration is one of these 153 engravings. Our illustration is carefully annotated with numbers and letters to guide the viewer through the scene. The number 59 in the top right corner tells us this is the 59th event from Jesus' life depicted in the series. Below that, the Roman numerals indicate where this gospel passage falls within the liturgical calendar of the time, according to the Roman Missal. The title at the top, Feria I can't really pronounce it that well, Dominicam Passionis, places us in the 4th week after Easter. The letters within the image act as a key. A points to the portico of Solomon, where today's gospel scene unfolds. B highlights the group of Jewish leaders questioning Jesus with the words, "If you are the Christ, tell us plainly." And E shows two men preparing to stone him, reflecting the growing hostility he faced. Our Gospel reading tells us that Jesus was walking in the temple, in the colonnade of Solomon. In art history, Solomonic columns refer to columns that have a distinctive spiral or twisted shape, resembling a corkscrew. The term comes from the belief that such columns were originally part of the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem. According to tradition, when Constantine built the original old St. Peter's Basilica in the 4th century, he brought back columns from Jerusalem, believed to be from Solomon's temple, and placed them around the high altar. These ancient columns were twisted in form, and so the style became known as Solomonic. While the historical accuracy of their origin is debated, the association remained strong throughout Christian art and architecture. When Gian Lorenzo Bernini designed the magnificent baldachin canopy over the high altar in the new St. Peter's Basilica in the 17th century, he deliberately chose the spiral Solomonic column design to echo this ancient tradition, also in reference to today's Gospel reading. Bernini's decision was not merely aesthetic, it was rich in symbolism. The twisted columns linked the new basilica to the legacy of both Solomon's temple and Constantine's first church on the site, creating a visual and theological continuity. The spirals also suggest upward movement, drawing the eye and therefore the soul towards heaven. Furthermore, the dynamic, flowing form of the columns embody the spirit of the Baroque, with its emphasis on movement, drama, and the blending of heaven and earth. This is from, or by, Father Patrick van der Vost. So that was today's Gospel reading it's for May 13. And I know you'll be seeing this after May 13, but I'd rather stay true to this current moment at the time of filming because I feel more connected to it. Father Patrick van der Vost is the founder of Christian.art. Every day he posts gospel readings accompanied by works of art that can be related to the gospel reading. And I invite you and I encourage you to please check it out and subscribe, because he does a better job at explaining the art and correlating it to the day's gospel readings. And also in Christian.art, he does produce videos on Christian art that is really inspiring and moving. So whatever I'm doing, it doesn't seem like I'm taking away from him, but rather I am trying to lead you all to him. But in the meantime, we have this video for each other to refer back to. Now, there's always going to be struggles in life. That's just the nature of existence. And when we are trying to achieve something, we're trying to climb a mountain, the top of one mountain is just the bottom of the next. And on and on and on it goes. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. That's just the nature of existence itself too. And we do know that, good things happen, bad things happen. How do we prepare for the bad things? How do we prepare for the challenges that come our way? And the answer to that is to strengthen our inner strength and to really build on our inner wisdom and our inner knowledge. And for those who believe, is to also strengthen your relationship with God or with the divine. I believe that's how we prepare. That's how we get ready to face the challenges ahead, to make sure that we come out victorious. And I also want to remind you that no matter how crazy the world is, no matter how crazy your situation may be, you are on the right path. You are always on the right path. And you have the power to choose. You have the power to adjust. You have the power to make changes. You have a choice. All right. Now, for today's update, Tuesday, I finally purchased my ticket for my second trip to London. I used my credit card points, so it's free, but I will pay for seat assignment, which is fine. Why not? And then I messaged a friend. I asked her if she was okay for me to bunk in, or actually, this is how I said it, like, hi, like, would you know anyone who is willing to rent out their guest bedroom? And she said that she'll let me know if there is. You know, in her case, she would have, if she had a guest bedroom, she would have let me stay with her. And I just tried to ask and say, and I learned this from TikTok, I said, no hard feelings if it's a no, but I was wondering if you're okay if I bunk in with you? And she said, yes, no problem. So that's like huge savings. But of course, I am gonna give her gratuity because I don't want to I just don't want to take things without giving any gratuity. It just doesn't feel right. So I'm very excited. I've got 2 trips for London this summer. I really can't think too much about today's reading. I guess something about, we always talking about spirals and columns, and maybe I could relate it to just columns holding the roof, columns being a foundation of strength. And that, I think, correlates to building our relationship with God, with Jesus, or whoever you believe in, and building your inner knowledge, inner resolution of your belief that will see you through the hardships ahead and the storms. And I really believe in that, because if it weren't for my desire to learn about spirituality, about different religions and philosophies, I don't think I'd be as well adjusted as I think I am right now. Now, while I have you, let me just insert Daily Stoic. Why not? Okay, here, let's go. I am going to read from May 13. Okay. Fueling the habit, bonfire. Every habit and capability is confirmed and grows in its corresponding actions, walking by walking and running by running. Therefore, if you want to do something, make a habit of it. If you don't want to do that, don't. But make a habit of something else instead. The same principle is at work in our state of mind. When you get angry, you've not only experienced that evil, but you've also reinforced a bad habit, adding fuel to the fire. Oh no! I went to the gym earlier and I went to McDonald's thinking that a cheeseburger is low calorie and I shouldn't be gaining weight, and then I'm like realizing, yeah, I'm kind of reinforcing that habit of having a McDonald's snack after the gym, which I kind of lost that habit when I was on GLP, so I am going to be more conscious about that. And FYI, one of my convincing factors of getting McDonald's after the gym is that I do have points and I want to use my points for free food. Alright, that was from Epictetus. We are what we repeatedly do, Aristotle said. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. The Stoics add to that we are a product of our thoughts, such as are your habitual thoughts. Such also will be the character of your mind, Marcus Aurelius put it. Think about your activities of the last week, as well as what you have planned for today and the week that follows. The person you'd like to be, or the person you see yourself as, how closely do your actions actually correspond to him or her? Which fire are you fueling? Which person are you becoming? Now, to be fair, I want to be skinny. I want to really drop the weight and achieve my dream body. And I have been going to the gym every single day, or as often as I can, like almost every day. And I'm getting my steps in thanks to Skinny Talk. And I have been watching what I eat, been focusing on the advice of, I know she's controversial, Liv Schmidt, but whenever I find myself craving, or when I find myself in a moment of weakness, I pull her videos up, and she does help to convince me to be more disciplined and focused on my body goals. It is we are almost in the middle of May. I have one more month, which is June, before we reach July, or at least school break. And July is my birthday, and I expect that in my birthday, I have my dream body by then. So, I better make sure I am reinforcing the habits that I want to have in order to achieve my body goals. Is it realistic? Yes. Ever since I've been drinking 2 scoops of whey protein in the morning, it has really helped to curb my appetite and to help me be more disciplined with regard to the amount of food I'm eating. Alright, this is it for tonight. It's getting 17 minutes. So that's it for tonight. That was our daily gospel reading with some artwork reflection and a daily stoic and some update in my life. Oh, and by the way, if you want to share your thoughts on this new Christian journey, or anything about my daily Stoic readings and reflections, or if you have any opinions or advice with regard to, credit card point system and what's best, I'd love to hear about it. Please write them in the comments down below. Once again, I will see you next time, and thank you so much for joining me. Peace be with you.